Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Uncharted Conversations with me, Matthew J. Haas, is one of your co-hosts, and my other co-host is the lovely Miss Josie Haas.
Hi, everybody. How you doing tonight?
All right. We're still highlighting married couples or couples that investigate together in the paranormal field, and we're continuing that on tonight's episode. We do have guests. We'll introduce them in a little bit. But I like to get all the boring stuff, logistics out of the way, guys. Follow us on Facebook, Haas Paranormal. We do have a Facebook page. We're streaming live both on Facebook and our YouTube channel. Please subscribe and follow both if you don't mind. If you haven't already, that's where you can comment, and we'll get a chat room from both, and we can answer questions from those comment sections of both social media pages. Let's see, what else? We have a website. It's not finished yet. I'm working on it still, but, bear with the website, haasparanormal.com. That's the website, guys. And we have an email. If you want to email us, tell us how the show is. If there's any technical problems that we don't know about, give us feedback about the topics and our guests, haasparanormal@gmail.com. It's really easy. It's our last name with that.
How can you forget that?
Yeah, exactly. So I want to go ahead and get our awesome guests in here. And before I do, for the listeners and viewers that don't know a little bit about them, this will help us. I have their bio here, so I can read off of it a little.
Give a little info about our guests.
Yes. Miss Kandi here, who I met through World's Largest Ghost Hunt, National Ghost Hunting Day committees. And we worked together there, actually. So we hooked up with them on our podcast that way. I want to thank Michelle, her team member, and for having them on our show. We also have Kandi's husband, Derek, with us tonight. Derek and Kandi Slater is their name. They're from Riverside Iowa Paranormal is their group. And let's see, Derek, it says here, he's a paranormal researcher, psychic medium, clairvoyant. He's got the whole shebang. He senses spirits and communicates with them through his abilities. He's known about his abilities since he was a very young age and continues to evolve them. Derek uses his Native American heritage to communicate with native spirits, which is pretty cool. Commend you for that, by the way. And Derek excels in mediumship and psychometry, reading of photos and objects. Pretty cool. And Kandi, she's a paranormal researcher and a Reiki master, event coordinator, marketing director, social media manager, and personal relations. Kandi has had multiple experiences with her husband, Derek. These experiences have launched her into the paranormal field. Currently, she's working on developing new skills, including studying crystals, herbs, and their uses in the paranormal and everyday life. Through her multiple years working at a cemetery, she has developed empathic communication skills. My wife teases me when I say that word. I say it wrong frequently, and she always corrects me, so I want to make sure I said it correctly while reading.
He says empath.
All right, so I hope I said it correctly. And she's also, she deals with their clients and stuff like that. Furthermore, Kandi enjoys researching haunted locations and their history, using some of her findings with Riverside Iowa Paranormal as event coordinators. Let me get these two awesome people on here. All right, we have, there we go. Now we can see everybody. All right, guys, welcome to Uncharted Conversations.
Well, thank you for having us.
Yes. Right. I hope everybody can hear us okay. Give us a shout if you can't. If there's any audio issues, video issues, let us know. We can't exactly watch the show live while we're live. It's kind of hard to do. So let us know either way if there's anything going on that we should know about. So if you have questions for the guests, put them in the chat. If you comment on our Facebook page or YouTube, we'll get them on StreamYard. StreamYard will hopefully convey it to us, and we'll get all your questions. So, guys, again, thanks for doing the show tonight. I know it was very short notice. I appreciate it. Michelle was like, I have two guests for you. She's like, let's get these guys on your show. And then that's how we kind of hooked up. But we knew each other a little bit, with the leadership committee and everything through National Ghost Hunting Day and stuff. So again, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You want to ask the first question?
Sure, I will ask the first question. I have my notes here.
All
Matt
right.
has it so dark in the house, you can't see anything. So basically, why don't you guys start out? Tell us about yourselves. I mean, Matt gave a little into your bios, how you got started, and particularly as a couple, how you met and how you got to investigate together.
We met over bearded dragons, believe it or not.
Okay.
We were in a group for bearded dragons, and he messaged me, and I didn't like him. I almost didn't answer his message.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Go on, Derek.
Yep.
She's throwing you under the bus.
But yeah, we got talking, and I managed a cemetery and worked at a cemetery for like over 25 years.
Uh-huh.
So if I knew then what I know now, God,
Yeah, right?
it would have been interesting. But he, after doing everything I've always wanted to do, you got to humor me. You're going to go on a paranormal investigation with me.
Okay, so you were into it first.
He loved it. I said, this is hocus pocus. I ain't going to do this. And he took me to Edinburgh.
Yep, Edinburgh.
And had experiences. I still didn't know he was a medium at that time. I'm swatting things away, thinking I'm swatting bugs, and he's sitting there laughing at me.
Right. And they were real bugs, not like orbs and.
No, it was spirits that were screwing with her out on the grounds.
Oh wow. Nice.
Playing with my hair, and I'm going, what is that?
Oh, I hate that
Bug.
shit.
He's
Oh,
laughing at me.
yeah. We were investigating together many years ago, and in the basement of this restaurant that we were investigating, she had a very negative experience.
Like you feel that on the top of your head also, right? Like,
Yeah, and her hair got brushed up against, and she was like, kind of, all startled and everything.
So what got you started, Derek? You were like a medium or a sensitive like your whole life, or?
It really started after my grandfather passed. Is when it picked up for me, I guess. So probably since I was about 11 or 12 years old. And I just been interested. I know I've always been interested in the paranormal. So it's kind of something I grew up with, I guess.
Was the house that you grew up in had activity, and that's what got you kind of started, like knowing that you had abilities, or was it just something that?
It was my grandmother's house that I first realized that there was something going on.
Right.
Shortly after my grandfather passed, I saw him in the living room where he used to sit all the time, and it wasn't a one-time ordeal. It was frequently that I would see him and hear his voice and stuff like that.
Oh wow! Okay, cool, nice. And how about Kandi? When you started to becoming noticeable of your abilities, how long ago do you think that was?
I don't have any. I'm plain Jane.
Oh, okay.
I do the Reiki is the extent of what I can do, but so I'm not, I'm sensitive to it. I can feel some of it, nothing like what him or Michelle or anybody has.
Right. Wow. Okay. As a Reiki master, that was one of my questions actually on the list. A lot of people are into Reiki these days. Reiki is widely popular, and they use it for healing practices. I know of. I'm not an expert in Reiki, but I know that there are classes you have to take. Are you certified? Like, what kind of programs did you learn, or how do you kind of use that in the paranormal, or do you not use it in the paranormal? Is that aside from that?
I just actually got my certification as a master in January. And it's because of the paranormal that really made me want to get trained in Reiki, because being around the different sensitives and the psychics, they seem to get attacked a lot easier by spirits, and going into some of the situations we go into, I saw Kelly, who is one of our teammates. I saw her use Reiki and what she could do, and that just made me have to learn it, because when I see something attack him or Michelle, to be able to step in and help clear that energy for them is something we need.
Yeah. What are do you guys have similar beliefs as far like helping spirits kind of cross over, or cleansing locations if there's like negative energy? Like, what's some of your opinions about how you clear energy or how you deal with negative energy?
Go ahead. Cleansings, we work with Riverside Iowa Paranormal. We do a lot of privates and those type of cases where we do have to do cleansing. So it takes a lot of thorough investigation to find out. A lot of people think you can just walk into a house, burn some sage, and say, okay, I cleansed it.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's not the case.
Yeah, right. Yeah, sometimes it takes several visits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And, with her being Catholic and I'm not,
Mm-hmm.
it also has to do with that. So we have two different angles of attacking the, what's the word I'm looking for?
Whatever the issue is causing the
Yeah.
paranormal activity. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I agree. And one of the things that I think for a team, I don't know about you guys, but I know other teams, they try not to use their personal beliefs regarding those situations, because some people are not always into like crossing spirits over, or they feel that maybe they should leave those spirits alone. What's your thoughts on that, like as far as like how you remove certain energies if people don't want those energies there, if they are negative? Like, how do you go? What's your practices?
Case by case.
Okay.
Everything is case by case, and we work really closely with Michelle, the founder of Riverside Iowa Paranormal, and to give the person that's coming to us needing help, to give the family what they're looking for. But I'm stumbling on my words, but
Basically, for me, it's a little bit harder because I know I can sense the spirit. I know what they're there. And most of the time, it's just a disgruntled spirit that's wanting to, they don't like the people.
Yeah.
So for me, it could be as easy as doing something to please them, and then they'll leave.
Right.
You don't have to get into all the
religious end.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, did you ever have a family or a client who doesn't want the spirit to leave? They don't want to cross it over, or they don't want to,
I'm sure.
so you just kind of.
Yep.
Yeah.
It happens frequently too, and we just give them some tips to how they can help deal with what's happening.
Right. Mm-hmm. So they called you in just to verify that it's there and that they're not crazy, but they really don't want it to leave.
Right.
And that it's not going to cause them any harm. That maybe just, like he said, something that's there and not going to cause them any harm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you guys find with the pandemic, as a team or as a with Derek's abilities, or even both being on the same team or working aside from a team, with all the negative things that are going on out there with this pandemic, Do you find that you guys are more busier with locations because of the type of energy that's going on out there in the world today?
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, we do too. Now that it's like almost the end of the pandemic, you know what I mean? We feel like we're picking up, and there's a lot of cases coming in.
There is.
Yeah. I kind of sit here and wonder, like, when buildings were so vacant for so long, when we weren't allowed to do anything, that if spirits where we used to frequently go to and communicate with going, where did everybody go?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where are they at? When they come in to visit?
Yeah, they're lonely. You got no one to talk to. You know, but believe me, we felt the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Plus, dealing with everybody's emotions, that has to have a factor in it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Being locked. Well, yeah, we were like locked in.
Yeah.
You know, we had to work from home,
Yeah.
and you know,
Yeah.
we couldn't go out to restaurants or bars, or even investigating. We couldn't even investigate.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's got to take a toll on everybody.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, all your favorite things were taken away from you that you like to do, and you can't go out and do those things.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
you know, banging your head against the wall. You know?
That's about it, isn't it?
Yeah.
We did some Zoom investigating actually
Yeah.
with friends, you know, with Ron Iacovetti and Lourdes Gonzalez, and we did Zoom things, and we used spirit boxes, and you know, just to get some investigating in while we were in quarantine.
Yeah, it's actually I don't know about you guys, but we find that what we're finding out more and more of is that you don't necessarily have to be at a haunted location in order to communicate with spirit. I believe the spirit's going to communicate with you. It's by any means necessary. They're going to come through. So that's why we did that, because we were like, you know, if that's the case, then why not?
Yeah, why not? You know.
You know. So, what did you guys do during your time not being able to do anything? What did you guys do?
Still did it.
You don't have to get into that.
Yeah, it's okay.
We did it in a respectful way, you know, following with the guidelines and everything. Can't have so many people. So we had different locations that said, well, yeah, come on in, a small group of you. Keep the masks on, follow the guidelines. So we got to do some of it, but when we couldn't, gosh, but watching him and Michelle is incredible, because they, like you just mentioned, they can sit there and be talking to someone on the phone and be describing their house or their property across the country or even overseas. And it's like, how do you do that?
That's great.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like, what do they call that? Like remote, right?
Yep. It's I know what you're thinking. I can't say it.
Yeah, there's like a terminology for it. Yeah, that I can't come up with.
Yeah, it's not astral projection. No.
No.
I can't think of the word.
Yeah, but we're on the same. We're on the same wavelength. Yeah, we're connecting there. It's good. So I want to say hello to the guys in the chat. There's a few people. I just want to say hello to everybody. Take a minute to recognize people that are there. Karen Besler or Basler. I hope I pronounced her name right. Karen.
Karen, hi.
We have Todd Wending. He's in there.
Todd, that's Michelle and Todd. They're watching. Yeah.
Then Michelle is there. Yep. Want to say hello to them. And guys, if anybody has questions, please feel free. Anytime we'll relay the question. If you guys don't mind answering questions.
No, bring them on.
Bring them on.
Great.
All right. What's on our list?
Okay, so what do you guys find most challenging about investigating together as a couple?
I should play Jeopardy music
Yeah,
background.
we should have I think we should have like a newlywed game going on. How well do you know your spouse?
Most challenging thing. What would be the most challenging thing?
I get attacked so they can get to him.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Especially when I'm off. That's probably I'm off for a certain reason, and they want to contact me. They go to her and mess with her.
Yeah.
One of those things like, okay, you jerks, leave her alone. And
that happens every time we go to the Rock Island YMCA, which is where we're going to be for the National Ghost Hunt, or the World's Largest Ghost Hunt. We're going to be there for that, and they always, every time there, when he's off, they like to mess with me to get to him.
Right. Yeah, if you're open and leave yourself vulnerable in any way, yeah, like I can see that happening.
Yep.
So that's something I have to kind of improve on myself as well, because I'm always bringing stuff home.
Yeah, he's too open.
Yeah, I'm too open.
Yes.
My openness is like wide open. Yeah.
You need to pray.
Yeah.
Yep, I tell him that all the time.
Yeah. Sometimes she just wants to throw holy water at me.
I do. I'm just like, all right.
Yeah. Like one morning, I was like, it was early, and I was just like tired. I was like spaced out from like, a long night of work and getting up, going back to work again. And I was just sitting there. She's looking at me like, do I need to throw holy water at you? I didn't even see it coming, and she's just like dousing me. And I'm like,
I snuck up on him from behind, and I was just like, "You need this."
Yeah.
If he gets out of hand, I start throwing holy water at him.
Right. Kandi, your background with crystals, what have you learned so far about them? I know there's some science behind them. A lot of people are into crystals and how crystals can harness different energy. And what's your knowledge so far about crystals and the paranormal?
I love, there's some great ones for protection. Like I always have my obsidian on whenever I go anywhere now. Whether it be just paranormal or every day, like I have this necklace that I got from Michelle, wear it every day, never take it off. It brings her protection and guidance and everything to me every day. Just all these things I never imagined you could do. Just like paranormal, I used to call it hocus pocus. I used to call crystals just a bunch of rocks. And then you get one and you start reading all the things they can do and healing properties that some of them have. It's incredible.
Right. I know we walk in some of the shops.
I love them. Yeah.
We go into like the little shops and see all these different types of rocks and crystals, and it fascinates me how many different types there are out there.
And what they're used for, and it's amazing. It's awesome.
It's like this one does something, that one does something, that one does something.
And you can program certain ones to clear quartz. You can program it to be anything and do anything for you. So
right.
How do you program it? I'm curious.
Intent. You can hold it between your hands, and
I got you.
I need you to do this for me, or act as this crystal, and it works.
Oh, okay. All right. Wow. So what do you guys find the most enjoyable working together?
I just say you get to work with your best friend.
That's nice. Yeah.
Be the time that you get to work with your best friend, and this is one of them that you get to.
Yeah. Yeah. I say that often about her. Like, I enjoy when she comes out. She never used to come out as much back then in the beginning of our relationship. She did, but then it kind of like fizzled out a little bit. But then now she picked up, coming back out with us a lot more, and I enjoy that as well. Like, there's nothing like being with your partner and your loved one, doing what you love to do, and you can't beat that. Yeah. So kudos to you guys for that. That's cool.
Well, and you guys too.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. You haven't seen the other side of it.
Well, what about the big evidence review question?
Oh yeah, we always
Yeah.
gotta ask this question because everybody always seems to have the same answers, but maybe we'll get surprised from somebody. But when you guys review, do you guys review together? And if you do or don't, how do you like share your findings with each other? Do you guys argue? Do you agree to disagree? How do you guys go about review?
We do it together, and it really works because I'm more into the equipment side of it. He's more the psychic side of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going, okay, this is what my equipment was telling me. What were you seeing? Or vice versa. So I'm validating him with my equipment. He's validating me with what he's seeing. Or it's, yeah, your equipment was going off. It's not because there was a spirit there, but there was a wire behind this wall. Yeah.
Right. Wow, that's cool. Was there a time where Kandi, did you think like, all right, you had something or didn't have something, but then like he would turn around with his psychic ability and say, no, that is something because of what he was picking up on.
I all the time think I'm hard and always think I'm not getting anything. Just like the first time at Edinburgh Manor, and I thought it was bugs flying in my hair, and he's laughing at me. I get in the car and they're still doing it. He is laughing. I didn't know for 6 months that he was seeing spirits, and then finally he told me what was going on.
Coming back from
Ashmore Estates.
Was it Ashmore?
Yep, with Brittany. Yeah. Wow.
So something was messing with you and following you. Yeah. Wow. Did you end up finding out what it was? Was it like children's spirits, or was it like just a mischievous?
Same spirit every time I go there.
Oh, really?
Derek, one of our team members, Jake and Michelle, actually pieced it together. They said, I had different experiences every time I went, and especially in this one room. And they say, well, what was it that I look like a nurse that was possibly raped and murdered there? And so they were the spirits were constantly messing with me because I looked like her. And yeah.
That's like
almost like with our attachment and stuff.
Yeah. We had a really bad attachment back in 2008, 2009.
Yeah, it's like 2009,
2009-ish. Yeah. We had an attachment, and our medium friend at the time that helped us said that it came back with us because she resembled a former lover of the person that was, there. And that's basically why it came home with us, because it wanted her thinking she was the lover.
Yeah.
And, it was not a nice situation.
No, it wasn't, but that was clear. Thank God for that.
Yeah, thank God that was fixed.
But
definitely.
Yeah.
You find like you're overprotective of one another sometimes when you're out investigating, because I know we are.
Yeah, we are.
We get like that.
That's why a lot of times when we're at group events, we're split up. I'm doing one thing, he's doing another for that reason.
Yeah, definitely. I'm very protective of her, just because she likes to investigate by herself a lot. She wanders, and I'm always making sure like where she is, because I don't want her falling in a hole somewhere. And then like be like, all right, how am I gonna get you out of that? But yeah,
unless he sends me into the room by myself.
Unless I use her as bait, that's different. Unless she's taking one for the team, that's different. Yeah.
I won't go into holes, attics,
right?
Anywhere that has bugs or anywhere I have to crawl through.
No bats.
Yeah.
Bats, yeah.
Have you guys been in a challenging situation like that to try to get evidence, to put yourself under pressure of kind of putting yourself in harm's way, or to try to help the location.
He's laughing.
Yeah, he's ready.
He does that.
I'm guilty.
Don't you? Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He'll do him. You and Michelle both.
Yep.
Will do anything to
We'll do basically anything to get them to come out,
Right.
the answers, and yeah.
gather the answers, figure out what's going on. Do I recommend it? No.
Right.
Right.
You can tell an instance about Indiana.
We were at a location in Indiana,
Mhm.
and he has Native American in his background. And so he was, the time we were there previously, he was communicating with what coming through on necrophonics, or not necrophonics, you were doing Ganspell. So white noise is what he had going in his headphones. And he was having a conversation. We didn't even know there were other people out in the woods, and this Native American spirit was all mad because there was people in the woods that didn't give an offering like we did, thanking them for letting us be on the land and things.
Oh.
And he gave his name, everything. We go outside. There were people in the woods. We got him to give the offering, and then the spirits were happier. But he goes back and tries to get communicating with them again. Two of them jumped inside of him and started having a war with each other inside of them. And Michelle had to snap him out of that one.
Wow. That's crazy. Derek, what's been, as a medium on an investigation, has been the most challenging for you to fight off something that you're in trouble maybe fighting off, either on your own? Aside from that, has there already been other ones that you've had most challenging?
There's one that we did before we entered the group. We went to, was it Stone King?
Oh, yeah, with my grandma. Yeah.
Stone King Cemetery. And I think it's Knoxville?
Someplace in Iowa, right by Des Moines.
Knoxville, Iowa. And, the legend is if you go behind a certain mark in the cemetery and you see the man, Mr. Stone King, you see him there, then you're going to die. Well, I walked back there. I saw him, but I don't know how I saw him per se. And I'm still here, so
Yeah.
but she was trying to follow me, and she couldn't. Like, her legs would literally like freeze right where she was.
Stuck to the ground. I couldn't.
Wow.
Come to find out, that was her grandmother stopping her,
Oh, wow.
going back. That's probably the most challenging instance, is making sure that she's safe
Right.
when I go into something like that.
Yeah. I can see that.
Well, what advice would you give, to other investigators and, like to protect themselves from situations?
It's number one. Always have your eyes, ears, everything open. And if you get something in your gut that says get out of the situation, don't try to play hero and be the person running into the burning building. You got the feeling to get out.
Right.
Out and bring things with, like we have everybody on Riverside Iowa Paranormal, we have a protection spray that Michelle custom makes, things with holy water, certain oils, a custom blend that she makes that
Mm-hmm.
you can feel it as soon as you spray it on you. Everything negative just goes away. I tell everybody I know to get that and carry it with them.
Mm,
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
I believe in that too.
yeah.
Yep.
I know you guys, try to get evidence, any which way possible that you can. But I try to tell people, because let's face it, a lot of television kind of encourages people to do things in a negative way.
Like provoking.
And like provoking,
Mhm.
right? And that's one of my no-nos, because that's where I learned my lesson about our attachment we had years ago. Because I did a little provoking. And what are your thoughts about provoking? Because like a lot of teams are still into that, and like I don't know how. Like to me, it's a little disrespectful to the spirit and the location, depending on how the provocation is done. But what's your thoughts on that? Either one of you guys, or both of you?
I agree 100%. It's disrespectful to the location and the spirits. You don't want to provoke a spirit of a loved one,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Of the people that you're trying to help.
yeah,
You don't want to. It's just plain out disrespectful. It's like.
It'd be like coming into your house right now and just start yelling at you and screaming and hollering,
Right.
not knowing why you might have a bad day. And yeah, we'll ask the difficult questions to the spirits and hope to get answers, but never antagonize
right.
or provoke.
Right.
We're not going to pull a Zach Bagans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you just go there?
Yes.
That's all right. So that's why we're called Uncharted Conversations. We go in those we go into those things. That's okay. And if you see a cat moving in the background,
Right.
those are real cats.
I was going to ask.
Or you may see spiritual cats here
Yes,
too.
we have. We
have two.
put our
Yeah.
cat Milo
Yeah,
on
we caught
our camera.
our artist Tabby that we had not that long ago that passed away. He had some internal problems, and we tried everything we could to kind of make him last as long as he could. But we didn't want him to suffer and had to make that decision.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, long story short, we bought these security cameras for home because we had gotten new kittens. And if we went out for a night, we wanted to keep an eye on them to see what they get into. We don't have kids. The cats become our little kids,
Mhm.
So we want to make sure they're not getting into anything bad. So we set cameras up. So one night we're out investigating, and we capture, we believe is a cat spirit flying past the screen. And if you freeze frame and go frame by frame, and you still
Stop
frame
it.
it right on it, you can see the tail of the cat.
It manifested into
It
a
manifested into the image of a cat.
Awesome.
And it was like unreal. And I thought, I was like being the logical one. I was like, it was a big mosquito flying by the lens, or there was a big bug flying around that got in the house. And I'm like looking around for the bug. I'm like, where's this big bug? But we would have seen it if we gotten home. It was so big, you know what I mean?
I actually thought it was a bird. I'm like, oh my God, a bird got in.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and it just bloomed. It just bloomed into a cat. And then you could see his face and his paws and the long tail and the pointy ears. It was amazing.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was a great catch. It really was. But so we have two spiritual cats that still later. So, but I again, that's another discussion that we can come up. What's your beliefs about animals? Because they have sixth sense and everything. They're living creatures just like we are. They have souls, and they have spirits that move on. And what's your thoughts on that?
He sees our dog.
Oh yeah, cool.
I just had to get him to move on.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was messing with me too much,
Oh wow.
so I had to get him to move on.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's sad. Yeah, because like they become your friend, like they're part of the family, and
They're your kids.
Right.
Yeah, they're
Right.
our kids.
Exactly.
Someone once told me, and that I forgot what religion it was. In one religion, that they didn't believe that animals had souls, and that when they pass, like that was it. You don't go to heaven and see them or whatever. And I was mortified of being the animal lover that I am. I'm like, oh my God. But then I was thinking about it too. Like, what about the squirrel or something? You know what I mean? What happens to him? It's got to be the same thing. He is a soul. He moves on to the next level or heaven or right.
He goes to squirrel heaven.
Squirrel heaven.
There we go.
I believe in that. So
Definitely.
Yeah. What's some of the most craziest locations have you guys investigated together?
Oh gosh. Rock Island YMCA is awesome. Amazing. That place never disappoints. Ashmore Estates. That's where I finally found out that he had ability. Our teammate Brittany, she looks at me and she goes, he's got it. And I'm going, he's got what? What's he got? And I'm looking in his hands and she's like, he's got it. And she starts telling me, he's going to say he sees this. And he had headphones on and thinks no way he could have heard her. He starts describing the same thing she does. I'm like, what does he have? And she's like,
he's got it.
He can see him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shine. I always say, he's got to shine.
Haunted Castle House. That place is amazing too. Brumley, Missouri. I don't know if you've ever been there.
No.
Definitely worth checking out that place. Amy Allen, Dead Files, calls it the pit stop for the dead. That place.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah.
Civil War. Is it Civil War or Revolutionary?
Civil War camp on the property, cemetery.
Nice.
Yeah.
I had the privilege to interview Steve DeChave on my Strange Odyssey podcast. So yeah, if you guys are interested, you go back on an older episode, and yeah, he was like a character because I made him feel so comfortable. Like we were at a bar just hanging out, having 2 drinks, and he started breaking out a cigar and smoking.
Nice.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, we love the Dead Files. I think it's a good show.
I do too. Yeah.
I think every location we go to though has its own special something that makes it the most memorable in its own way.
Yeah, that's true.
I know that sounds corny, but yeah.
Yeah, right.
We go to the Grand Opera House here in Dubuque, where we live. I grew up going there as a movie theater when I was a kid, and now we do an event there, and here's Derek and Michelle, Brittany, and one of the guests, Melissa, that came. They're talking about all these spirits that they see, and I never would have thought as a kid that our movie theater was haunted.
Yeah.
For better words.
Yeah.
Is there any experience that you ever had on an investigation that you could share with us that kind of totally shook you up, or you're always like, cool and level-headed, or
getting choked at Edinburgh Manor?
Oh, that could have.
That I was getting held down to the bed, and Jake comes over and he says, I didn't describe to him what I was feeling, and he reenacts it. He goes, well, a spirit was doing this. Yep. So another person that was with us got in the bed, hoping the same thing was going to happen. I sit in the chair next to the bed, and he's out in the hallway seeing it. Jake was seeing it, and they're saying, yeah, I was getting choked and they had to stop it and call in the white light. And how about you?
Probably in Indiana when I got jumped by the two. That rattled me pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best part of that, God, Josie, she's one of the Silent Explorer in our Silent Explorer chapter. She's a deaf investigator, and she was messaging me, Kandi, is Derek okay? Because this was a live, we were doing a Facebook Live of the investigation, and she was messaging, is Derek okay? Is Derek okay? I had Bill in my ears. Bill, people are asking, is Derek okay? He says, Derek, are you okay? And you watch the footage, Derek says, I'm fine. And boom.
Wow.
He goes down on the ground.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was taking the spirits away from Brittany and Kelly because they were going to attack those two. And I said, no, you leave them alone. Come to me.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
You took one for the team.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. What was one that you took one for the team recently?
Recently?
Yeah, St. Albans.
Wow. When you made me do the solo session?
Yeah. Yeah, I made her take one for the team at St. Albans doing a solo session.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Yeah, you said you were getting touched in the room.
Yeah, no, I didn't mind it. It was. I mean,
you didn't mind getting touched?
No, not that.
Oh,
The first I'm
I
hearing
didn't
it.
mind doing that. Don't go there, Matt.
Yeah. I set her up for that one.
No, it was. I just pretended that I was. It was a patient's room, and I just pretended that I was another patient, and I was just saying. Oh, can you hide me? They're going to take me for my treatment, and I got into it like reenacting, and it was good.
Yeah.
So
she probably got a patient saying, "Yeah, tap me on the foot. Yeah, come with me.
Yeah, come with me, hide.
me too.
Yeah. That was if you've never been to St. Albans, St. Albans is a really
that's a really good place.
Really good place. It's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
The owner there is really down to earth, and she does a heck of a job there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a shame we couldn't get them on board for the world's largest ghost hunt this year. But it's the time of the year where her hunt season starts, and that's her bread and butter. So it's like kind of interferes, and But anyway, St. Albans, I would definitely
shout out to them, definitely.
I would recommend it.
Mm-hmm.
But it was great. What's on your bucket list? Things that you haven't done yet?
MSP. I don't know what it is. I want to go to MSP so bad. That's number one on my bucket list. That or like Winchester or Alcatraz, but MSP for some reason. I have to get to MSP, and I don't know why.
Yeah, but for the listeners and viewers who don't know what that is, what is MS?
Missouri State Pen.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah.
It's calling you. Something's calling you there. You know.
Yeah, you get a calling for places.
Mm-hmm.
I totally agree with that. Like even Michelle was telling me that I had a calling for St. Albans because we were supposed to do an event. And it got canceled because of COVID, but they still invited the speakers to come and do like a little private investigation. And we were debating back and forth whether we should even go.
Mm-hmm.
And I just really felt strongly that, we should still go. So I felt like, St. Albans definitely called us.
What about you, Derek? You got any places on your bucket list?
Probably Winchester House.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Stanley Hotel.
Yeah, she's the lucky one. She's been there.
Stanley's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that place.
Yeah.
Would love to go back there and take Matt.
Yeah.
He would love it.
Yeah, so she can beat my brains in. with a baseball bat.
Crazy.
Wouldn't Salem be awesome?
Oh, we've been, yeah.
Salem, Massachusetts?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? We went and I was a little disappointed.
I don't want to disappoint other people.
Yeah, no, I want them to go.
Yeah, go for yourself, check it out for yourself. But for us, yeah, we expected to be kind of like, wow, like the energy is off the charts. Expected like, this place is really cool. Personally, I think the pandemic had a lot to do with it.
Yeah, did a lot of places were closed.
They were closed.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot to do and see
sightseeing.
because of that. I mean, there were some things that would, you could go sightseeing and stuff. Like we went to the actual hanging, where the actual hanging of the witches took place. Like we visited that, which is really cool. And I thought I would have like felt something there, but I didn't at all.
No, I didn't feel anything.
Yeah, no, it was good, but yes,
I would expect to be feeling stuff.
Yeah, believe it or not, I didn't. So that's why I was like surprised, So, but it's an interesting place.
I would go again. I would give it another try.
Yeah.
I definitely would when everything's open.
Right.
And and then I could make my decision about it.
Right. And I was told don't go during Halloween season because it is wall-to-wall people.
I believe it now that you say it.
Yeah. Yeah. I would go like outside of October.
The food around there was good. There were really good places to eat. And I actually liked where we stayed at the Hawthorne Hotel.
Okay.
I would recommend that.
Yeah, just watch out for Ethan. Yeah. No, look, it's an inside joke because we ran into a fellow named Ethan. He was a maintenance man there. And when we first got there, I guess I made a really good impression on him because he followed us like everywhere in the hotel ever since we got there.
Oh, wow.
Luggage was in our room, and I was like, oh, okay.
I'm like, you're not sleeping with us.
Was he real or was he a spirit following you?
That's the thing.
We were all at the end of our vacation. We're like,
was he
real?
Yeah. When we were looking back and talking with our friends about it, nobody else, like on the set,
except for us,
interacted with him. It kind of reminded me of like Bruce Willis in The Sixth Sense.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is he in any pictures or anything?
No.
Actually, no.
No.
And he did investigate with us a little.
Yeah. You would think he would be in a picture.
And the weird thing about him is he just always like popped up. He just always appeared. Like where you least expect.
The really funniest part
right now, he could pop up right between us. Like, oh, it's Ethan. Where'd you come from?
The funniest part of this whole thing is I was in the men's room. Had to go to the bathroom, and I'm at the urinal. I turn my head, and he's there in the bathroom. And then my friend walks in behind him, and he's looking at me like, how the freak did he?
Because he was by the door, and there was no way that he could walk through the door. So it was just, I like to think that he was not real and that we just had a great experience with him.
Yeah, I mean, for all
that was awesome.
Yeah, and then he kept like telling us, because we like to sleep with a fan on in our bedroom, and I bring a little portable fan in case you get hot at night. Sometimes you just need the white noise from the fan.
Yeah,
white noise. Yeah.
Yep.
So. So Ethan's like, oh, I got some box fans down in the basement. I could just rig a box fan up to you.
In the attic.
Yeah, or in the attic. And he's like, I could bring one up to you anytime if you need it. And but we're thinking of ourselves, a box fan? Who uses a box fan anymore? Right?
Who uses box fans? And he was like, I'm building them or I'm making
them.
Yeah,
he said he's building them. And I'm like, what?
This is really weird.
So that's why it really made us question, was he real or not?
I like to think he was just
I don't know.
There.
It's a great little story. It really is.
Oh, I like it. Now you go back, and if he's there again,
right?
There you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would recommend checking Salem out.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, and stay at the Hawthorne Hotel.
Yeah, you have to stay there. That's pretty cool.
No, it's a cool hotel. It really is. So, all right. Did we hit all of our questions?
I think just about, yeah.
You looking up our list?
I'm looking at my list.
I want to
Okay.
make sure we covered it.
Oh, okay. Well, there is one question that I like to ask couples. When you're planning trips, okay, to go different places, does it always somehow revolve around the paranormal, even when you want to just have like maybe a romantic thing or whatever? Because I know, like Matt will say, yeah, but somehow there's always that little paranormal thing that comes right in.
Yeah.
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 Of course.
That's my fault. That's my fault.
Oh, okay.
We can't be here in this haunted location just 10, 20 minutes away. We got to go check it out.
Yeah.
And him and Michelle always tell me, you got to give him a break. He's a psychic. He needs to shut down. He needs time away.
Yeah, to relax.
20 minutes that way.
That's
Can we come all this way and not go see it?
Yeah, that's mad. That's so funny.
Yeah.
But his is always like, oh, it's really close. But then when we looking on the map, it's like 3 hours away from where we are. I'm like, okay,
I've
Matt.
done that to him too, haven't I?
Yeah, there'll be some times where I'll hijack the whole trip and all my friends from that area will come and hang out.
I know, yeah. Like our anniversary. All
I
of a
know
sudden, there's like
people-
50 paranormal investigators
I know
having dinner
people
with us that
everywhere.
night.
And it's not often that we go see these people because, they're 3-4 hours away. So while we're there.
I love asking that question because it's always the same.
Yeah. So I get Kandi. I understand her.
Yeah. You can't come all that way and have it be so close and not have gone.
Yes.
Oh, I drug him one time. This was right after I started believing. It was in October, and I got this wild hair up my butt. If anybody knows me, if I get my heart set on something, I'm going to go all out 110%. On a Saturday, we hit 13 paranormal places driving from Des Moines, all these different places. We would like get in the car, go spend a half hour at one, get in the car, drive again. We ended up at Squirrel Cage Jail at an overnight event at that one, but that lasted till 3 or 4 in the morning, and then he had to drive back to hours. But it was just one spot right after another. Well, Derek, we couldn't come all this way and have this one just by taking an hour out of our way.
Yeah.
He was in the car for over 24 hours.
Oh, wow.
Other than the overnight, we were on the road for over 24 hours.
Wow. That was like us when not that it was, similar, but we investigated Wildwood Sanatorium, upstate New York by us. But it's like a 7-hour car ride for us. And I think it was like a holiday weekend on the way back.
Might have been, I don't know.
Something like that. But the traffic, it turned into a 10-hour trip.
Uh-oh.
Because of the holiday that was going on, and we didn't expect to run into that much traffic on the way back. But we were up pretty late.
Yeah.
And we were, pretty much on like maybe 2 hours sleep, not even.
Yeah, we slept at Wildwood. I remember with the air mattress and stuff. But funny story about Wildwood was we had gone out to dinner with our fellow investigators the night that we were investigating Wildwood, and it took so long to get the food. And we were all sitting there. I'm telling you, we went there like around 8 o'clock. We didn't get back to Wildwood until I think 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, we started late.
So on the way home, everybody was in their separate cars driving home. And our friend Ron had texted a picture to us with 2 skeletons sitting at a bistro table, like waiting for their food, as to the night before. So while we're driving, so I'm getting the message and I'm reading it to Matt. I'm like, oh, it's a picture of 2 skeletons waiting for their food at a table. Our GPS says, I don't know how to help you with skeletons. And I looked at it. What?
Like what?
I'm like, is she programmed to think this? I'm like, all right, either we have a hitchhiker which we're going to have to get rid of.
I said, I'm leaving your ass back on Route 46. You ain't coming back.
I can't explain it.
Yeah.
And we were shocked.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't know how to help you with skeletons.
But then, logically, like later on, the smartphone, because I use my phone for GPS and stuff, but the smart devices have these like listening programs that listen.
But I don't know if the GPS actually listens.
But it was still like, but the timing was just so like impeccable.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah. But
I don't know if they're programmed to
yeah
repeat what they hear.
Yeah.
That was creepy.
Is there something that has been the most funniest moment for you guys on an investigation together? I'm sure there's been.
There's a couple.
Yeah.
Well, one, the first time we were with RIP at the Y, and I don't see anything, and we're going up the stairs, and Michelle and Jake were talking to me, and they're telling me, if you ever see us or, see us running, you run too. They start running up the stairs. What? And you could hear you could hear people, footsteps following you. They're like, run. We get up to the top of the stairs. I'm like, guys, what are you yelling at? Michelle stops and she looks and she goes, we're supposed to be the professionals here. Chasing us up the stairs. You heard about that one. You were there. But he sometimes has notorious gas. And he was down in the basement of a house we were at in Indiana. Do you remember?
Oh, no.
What he was doing? And he was letting it go, and someone else was taking the blame for it and saying, it's that or a spirit that's, remember Austin? Was it Austin? That or a spirit that's behind me.
Every time Austin would get up and move, I would let one go.
Oh, no.
He thought a spirit was following him until you finally told him. It was awesome. Our group we have so many good times because we keep everything light and fun and
yeah,
you have to. You investigate scary places and the energies of that place. That you're getting into can change the tone in your mood, and you gotta have each other's back. So to lighten things up and have fun. That's that brings the good energy.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, I don't know. Any more questions?
Well, this isn't a question, but it kind of reminded me of your story when you guys were investigating the orphanage, I think, in Gettysburg, and somebody used the bathroom.
Oh my God!
Upstairs.
No,
you could hear everything.
have you ever been to the orphanage in Gettysburg or no?
Never been there, no.
Okay. Well, there's the story of she was a horrible nanny that took care of these kids during the Civil War. She treated them very bad.
She abused them. Actually,
she abused them, and she would keep them down in the basement and in the hole. She would have them, shackled, and it was just a horrible environment for these children. And when you hear about some of these stories, you're just like, wow, I can't believe a person would do that to children. It has a bad reputation as far as history, as far as that goes. But there's this one part of the house where she used to keep the children shackled, and whenever they were bad, she would throw them down there, and they would be helpless. And so some investigators like to try to get to that spot, but you have to crawl there. Like, it's in a crawl space, and then, because she throws them in the hole from, like, the second floor, and it goes all the way down to the basement. But in the basement part is you have to crawl there. But when you crawl through there, mind you, all the bathroom plumbing is right above you. So when we were crawling, I finally got there. We're sitting there, and we're like, all right. We break out the recorder, and we start, doing EVP. And we're like, all right, we're finally here. We're sitting there. All of a sudden, you hear, they're like, where is this coming from?
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, it was hilarious because our faces were so priceless. We were just looking at one another. Like, I can't believe we're listening to the bathroom as we're trying to do this.
We had the one we were at a private, and it was actually, I think the first private I was ever on, and we were sitting in the one room, and Michelle had just got done saying what she was seeing. And my teammate and I were sitting there, and we're like, yeah, we feel something behind us. And all of a sudden, my stomach let out a rumble. She jumped so high. She thought it was because Michelle was saying, oh, yeah, whatever, it's back there. It's snarling. She thought it was, she grabbed onto my legs. She jumped up. I'm like, that was my stomach.
Oh, that's so funny. That's hysterical.
Yeah, that's funny.
I love it.
That is true though, because like your stomach, like these recorders are very sensitive, and if you record that, it's gonna sound like something growling at you.
Yeah.
So we are always tagging. Like, I don't know if you guys tag during like audio and stuff, but we're always tagging. Like, that's my stomach.
Yeah.
Whenever we do any of our investigations or events, it's always, we tell everybody, if you don't whisper, because if you whisper, it sounds like different things. If you make any type of noise, just that's my stomach, because otherwise you're listening to it, and that's exactly what it sounds like.
Yep.
Your jacket.
Yeah.
It's like he has this
We have a
jacket
new rule.
that's like almost like a windbreaker.
Yeah.
And every time you move, it rubs, and you hear, and he's like, oh my God, listen to this. And I'm like, no, it's your jacket.
No, it's a jacket. So it's a new rule, no more jacket. So yeah, it was funny because like later on that night we did another session, and I realized I had the jacket on. I was like, no, I'm taking it off. So,
the things we go through.
Yeah, the things we go through, right, as investigators.
But it's fun.
It's so much fun, isn't it?
It's so much fun. Mm-hmm.
I mean, what else can you do where 1 minute you're scared, the next minute you're laughing, the next minute you're back to intense, and paranormal hangover, and you'd wake up and you'd do it again the next day if you could.
Hate the hangover though. The next day, you really feel like totally wiped out.
I know. I don't know how old you guys are, but but let me tell you, the older you get, the harder those overnights. Yeah. The paranormal hangover.
He's younger than I am, and it hits him harder than it hits me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, having those abilities can really drain you too. Like, yeah. I don't want to pin you guys against each other.
Oh, not at all.
I don't want to be the bad guy.
Oh, never. It's all fun.
But even for like when you're not using your abilities, dealing with all those different types of energies.
Oh yeah.
As an investigator, not knowing what you're dealing with, it can pull all that energy from you without knowing about it. So I think not only being up all night, but having all that energy drained on top of that, like spiritual wise, like you're just like fried.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but it takes me a while after an investigation to kind of wind down, to actually fall asleep. You know, like I have to sit there and maybe watch a little TV or play a game or something. Have a snack.
4 a.m. munchies.
Not me. I'm one of those people that can just go right to sleep afterwards.
Oh,
really?
You are so lucky.
Yeah.
I'm envious.
Oh, he will. He'll be. Oh, investigation's over? Okay, I'm going to lay right here. Boom. He's out in 2 seconds. He's snoring. Everybody else is like, is he really asleep already? And yeah.
We do have a question from Todd. He says, ask Kandi about Sammy the Sandwich.
No. No.
I had to throw it in there.
I will. Okay, hold on. You get it? So I will. I'm getting it. Hold on. Okay. Back down. Okay, so I'm kind of Michelle founder of RIP's right hand. So we do event coordinator. I come and do a lot of work with her. Derek comes along and does his thing while we're there. And so one Saturday, I have my bag with my notebooks and things in it, and I'm looking for a pen or something. And in it, from the day before, it's a bag I take to and from work every day. And the day before, Derek had made me a ham sandwich for lunch. I forgot. I didn't eat it because for some reason somebody ordered pizza or something in. So I'm emptying my bag, and I don't think anything of it. I throw this sandwich out, and it's on the table. I'm like, ugh, I think it's thrown away. So our Christmas party comes, and Michelle's given me this big heartfelt thing about how I do so much and how I'm so appreciated and everything. And she's got this special gift for me. There you go, Todd. There it is. He closed the sandwich and then encased it in resin. So yeah, every month I have to send a picture of the sandwich to show them I still have the sandwich. And
That's so nice.
you just wait. Those are coming back at you someday. I'd put it in the bag, forgot about it, came home, got up the next morning, got on the road, and didn't think twice about that I didn't eat my lunch the day before.
Good thing it wasn't fish.
Oh, I'm just impressed that he makes her lunch. How about that, Matt?
Oh, I'm spoiled. He makes my lunch, my breakfast.
Very nice.
There you go.
Yeah, you got to watch it with our teammates, because then we were just at an investigation, and all of a sudden, Derek's like, "What's that?" It turns out, you know how in the back of your jeans where your pockets join to your pants, it tore on the side of the pockets.
Huh.
Everybody's asking me where my jeans are. Those jeans went to work with me and got thrown away in the work dumpster, because those were not going to come back encased in resin.
That's funny.
That is really funny.
Wow.
Sandwich.
Yeah. That's great. Oh man. We're coming up to the bottom of the show, guys. I leave the end for any upcoming events, stuff you want to share.
Shout outs
to anybody in particular. One big shout out for us, real quick, guys. World's largest ghost hunt. If you haven't applied, apply. NationalGhostHuntingDay.com. Please apply. We're looking for more locations. If you haven't signed up, please sign up.
Yeah, get a hold of me. I'm in charge of finding people. Please
Go
apply.
ahead, guys.
Apply.
You guys got the floor.
I guess number one biggest shout out is to Michelle.
Yeah.
Because she took a chance taking us in on her team like she did. Well, everybody on the team, actually, because it really is one giant, we're a giant family. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
God. Michelle has done so much for him with his abilities. Yeah, God. Who else? Everybody. Events. We got some awesome events coming up. If you ever want to come out and investigate with us, June 12th, we're going to be at Farrar School in Maxwell, Iowa. July 19th, we're going to be at Mineral Springs Hotel in Alton, Illinois. July 24th, we're going to be at Edinburgh Manor in Scotch Grove, Iowa. Then in August, we're going to be at the Grand Opera House. And World's Largest Ghost Hunt. We got 4 locations we're going to be at. We're going to be at Nevada Prison, Rock Island YMCA. That's where we're going to be at. We got some ruins. I can't remember the exact name. The Palo, maybe you remember.
I can't even pronounce the name of it. Yeah.
Some ruins in Arizona, the Haunted Castle House, Brumley, Missouri, and Michelle's going to be. Where are Catherine and Michelle going to be? They are going to be.
I don't know what that.
In Delaware, where Brian's going to be.
Oh,
Okay.
Fort Mifflin?
Fort Mifflin, yeah.
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Michelle's going to be in Gettysburg. Anybody who has wants to see Michelle, she's going to be in Gettysburg July 3rd through the 5th at Phenom 2020.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Actually, they're doing 2020, 2021.
Yeah.
2020 and 21. Yeah.
Confusing me.
So if anybody's looking for tickets, whether it be our events, your events, anybody's events, go to thriller.events. They have all sorts of paranormal events all over there, all over the country. So you can find any paranormal event near you.
Nice.
Yeah.
Great. Thanks.
Yep. And, big shout out to Maria. Of course,
Maria.
Yeah, we can't forget Maria, who connects everybody together.
Mm-hmm. Let me tell you, you guys work really hard. I've heard all your meetings and stuff. You really work hard.
Yeah.
Shout out.
I don't know how, I told Maria, I couldn't keep up with all the meetings. I had to back out of some of them because I was between my regular stuff and that stuff, I couldn't just keep up with everything. And, but it's, you guys do a lot, and it's amazing how much actually goes into it, that kind of event. And I'm glad to be,
worth it.
Yeah, it really is. Everybody that I've met so far are really cool people.
Mm-hmm.
All you guys are great, as far as your energies and how you go about yourselves and how you carry yourselves. I really, commend all you guys for being who you are. So that's my shout out to all you guys.
What about Spirit Realm Network?
And Spirit Realm Network, we can't forget about Jim Martin, who I believe is about to launch his site, if I'm correct. Right?
Was it June 1st or somewhere right in there, I believe? Yeah.
Right. So spiritrealmnetwork.com, I believe.
I believe so, yes.
Okay. I can't believe I store all that in my head. So, I don't know. I think that's pretty much it. Before I forget, I do want a big shout out and thank you to our last guest that we had on our last episode, Chris Allgood and Audrey Keeler from Entity Voices Paranormal Evidence Podcast that we had as guests last time. I want to give, a big thank you to them and all the support that their listeners and viewers that showed up that night. Big thank you for them.
And why don't you tell them who we're going to have next week?
Next week. Who are we going to have next week?
I know.
Oh, yeah.
Ron.
No, not Ron. No.
Oh.
Next month is right around the corner. Yeah. We're highlighting psychic mediums. So we're going to have Catherine and we're going to have Michelle on for our first 2 weeks of June. June 2nd, we're going to have Catherine, and then on the following week, we're going to have Michelle.
Awesome.
And all month long, we're going to highlight mediums and the different things they do. Because not all mediums do the same thing, because they all have different beliefs and
different types.
How they carry themselves on investigations. And, so we want to get all that out there. With Catherine, we're going to talk about her ectoplasm. That's one of those words that if you don't say it right, it comes out funny. But yeah, one of the things we're going to talk about. But anyway. All right, guys, we're going to end the show here. Guys, any last things you want to say to the paranormal community?
No, I want to thank you again for having us on. It's been a blast.
Oh, thanks, guys.
It's gone fast.
I know,
it does go fast.
I know, because my wife was like, why are we doing an hour and a half? She's like, that's a long show. And she's like, but believe me, I've done podcasts. And you can breeze through an hour like nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. No, but thank you guys for being on the show. So, without you guys, we have no show. No, but I have good feeling about Uncharted Conversations. I think it's gonna become a really good podcast. Yeah, we have good following already, and I think just with what we have in store for the future, I think it's gonna do well. So I'm excited.
I think so. You guys are awesome.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thank you. You guys are awesome.
Well, thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we're gonna end it there. I want to wish everybody well. And as always, at the end of the show, I'm going to do this on every episode. I don't care how old this gets, because I'm a patriotic person. To all the EMTs, the doctors, and the nurses during this pandemic and this, horrible ordeal everybody's been going through, all the men and women who serve our country, all the PD, all the firemen. We recently lost a really great historic landmark in Selden, went up in flames this week. And I was really saddened to hear the news that it went up in flames. So I want to give another shout out to the firemen that actually went out and helped, put that fire out. And it went up in a blaze. They had almost 10 fire departments to try to help put out the fire. And it hit home because it was in my hometown. So I'm a little saddened over that. But I just wanted to mention that, real quick. I know I'm going on rambling. I ramble sometimes. Sorry. Anyway, God bless everybody. This Memorial Day weekend that's coming up. It's about the people who have served our country. Thank you for what you do and protecting our country. And, much respect and honor for you guys. Continue to do what you guys do. And, of course, always remember the fallen, the ones that have lost their lives for our freedom. So,
Amen to that.
All right, gonna play our video, guys, here. Everybody have a great night. Derek and Kandi, stay on with us. Don't hang up yet. And we'll say our goodbyes after the show.
Okay.
All right. So, I hope everybody enjoyed our guests, and we're going to play our video right now.